Superman's powers are an iconic aspect of his character, defining both his abilities and his impact on the world of comic books and pop culture. Originally, Superman's powers included super strength, speed, and invulnerability, which set the foundation for the modern superhero archetype. Over the years, his powers have evolved, and new abilities like heat vision, X-ray vision, and flight were introduced. These powers not only highlight his alien heritage as a Kryptonian, but also symbolize hope, justice, and the limitless potential of humanity's imagination. The significance of understanding Superman's powers lies in their ability to reflect societal values and technological advancement, making him a timeless character who adapts with the times. Specific examples of Superman's powers in action include his ability to fly faster than a speeding bullet, which represents freedom and transcending the limitations of the human condition. His heat vision is not just a combat tool, but symbolizes focused will and clarity in overcoming obstacles. These powers have real-world applications as they inspire innovations in technology, encouraging us to push the boundaries of what is possible, much like how flight was a dream before the Wright brothers. Superman's powers have also been referenced in discussions about scientific advancement and ethical responsibility, as seen in debates over genetic modification and the moral use of technology. Opinions supporting the exploration of Superman's powers suggest that these abilities keep him relevant and engaging. Writers and fans appreciate how his powers reflect contemporary challenges and aspirations, making him not just a hero but a cultural mirror showing society's hopes and fears. However, potential challenges and controversies arise when considering the limits and nature of his powers. Some may argue that Superman, being nearly invincible, lacks relatability and tension in storytelling. Others suggest that the continual expansion of his powers can lead to inconsistencies, detracting from the character's narrative depth. Despite these challenges, Superman's powers influence other aspects of his character, such as his moral code and interactions with other superheroes. His abilities force him to constantly navigate the balance between power and responsibility, mirroring real-world discussions on leadership and ethics. The exploration of powers Superman almost had, like shape-shifting or telepathy, further enriches these narratives, offering what-if scenarios that challenge both the character and his readers to imagine new possibilities. Through these reflections, Superman's powers remain integral to his role as a beacon of hope and a subject of endless fascination. Unrealized powers. A historical perspective refers to the concept of abilities, or superpowers, that were conceptualized for the character Superman, but never officially incorporated into his canonical repertoire. Throughout Superman's storied history, writers and creators have often brainstormed imaginative powers that were either edited out, deemed too powerful, or simply left on the cutting room floor due to narrative or logistical reasons. This notion is significant because it highlights the creative evolution and complexity of Superman, a character who has endured as a cultural icon for over 8 decades. Understanding these unrealized powers provides fans with a deeper appreciation for the editorial decisions that have shaped his character and offers insights into the creative process behind comic book storytelling. Two standout examples of these unrealized powers include the ability for Superman to shapeshift and possess the power of telepathy. Shapeshifting would have given Superman the ability to alter his appearance at will, which could have led to interesting narrative twists and character dynamics. Telepathy, on the other hand, would have expanded his capabilities to include mind reading and mental communication, a power that could alter how he interacts with both allies and foes. These potential abilities were considered at various points in Superman's history but were never fully realized. Many fans and historians argue that not incorporating these powers was a prudent decision, as adding too many abilities could make Superman excessively omnipotent, thus diminishing character tension and relatability. A balanced power set keeps the character grounded and maintainable within storytelling frameworks. However, some enthusiasts express an interest in how these abilities could have enriched the narratives or offered new directions in storytelling, advocating that such powers might have facilitated more complex plots. There are also challenges and controversies tied to the idea of unrealized powers. One primary issue is the risk of breaking the character's established consistency. Expanding Superman's abilities might disrupt the balance that makes him both powerful and relatable. Alternative viewpoints might suggest that a constantly evolving power set could invigorate the character for new generations, potentially attracting fresh audiences. Unrealized powers connect intimately with other aspects of the main topic by showcasing how Superman remains dynamic. The character's potential and limitations are reflections of contemporary cultural contexts and storytelling trends. By exploring what Superman could have been, audiences gain a deeper understanding of what makes him timeless and how he continues to inspire imagination across different media platforms. The concept of the creative process behind superpowers delves into the imaginative journey and artistic decisions involved in defining what abilities a character like Superman might possess. Initially, when creating a superhero, writers and artists explore a multitude of possibilities for powers that enhance the narrative and capture the audience's imagination. The process involves brainstorming, experimentation, and often the modification of abilities through trial and error. This stage is crucial as it determines how these powers will contribute to Superman's identity and the stories he inhabits. The significance of this point in relation to the main topic lies in understanding how close we came to a very different version of Superman. The exploration of almost adopted powers showcases the evolution of a character as iconic as Superman. Moreover, it highlights the storytelling process where creators must balance innovation with relatability, ensuring any superpower adds to the character's depth and narrative intrigue rather than diluting it. Two notable examples include Superman's original power to shapeshift, an idea that was discarded early in favor of more relatable abilities that accentuate his alien origins while maintaining his human connection. Another almost power was the ability to project a miniature version of himself, a concept briefly explored in the 1950s. Both examples reflect how the creative team sought powers that resonated with audiences and contributed meaningfully to his character arc, ultimately deciding against these more obscure attributes to preserve thematic coherence. Supporters of this dynamic creative process argue that it underscores the importance of adaptability in storytelling, allowing for refinement that keeps characters fresh and engaging. They contend that revisiting and reimagining powers allows creators to better align a hero's abilities with cultural and technological advances or societal values, thereby maintaining relevance. However, this creative process is not without its challenges. The controversy often arises regarding the dilution of visionary creativity when commercial and conventional pressures push for sticking to established powers rather than diversifying them. Some purists might argue that introducing or even contemplating radical new powers could undermine the core foundations of what makes Superman, Superman. This exploration of potential powers ultimately influences and connects to all aspects of the Superman narrative, impacting everything from plot development to moral dilemmas and character relationships. It serves as a testament to how a proactive creative process shapes not just a single character's journey, but also the broader superhero mythos, inviting audiences to consider the boundless what-ifs within storytelling. Conceptual sketches of unused abilities refers to preliminary ideas and designs for powers that Superman could have had but were ultimately never incorporated into his character. These conceptual sketches represent the creative brainstorming process involved in developing a superhero's abilities and the considerations of practicality, narrative impact, and character consistency that inform final decisions. They're significant because they provide insight into the creative deliberations behind one of the world's most iconic superheroes, highlighting the inventive potential that goes into shaping such a character. For instance, one unused concept might have included Superman having the ability to change his size at will, allowing him to tackle threats of varying scales, much like Marvel's Ant-Man. However, this ability might have clashed with the established lore of Superman and complicated the narrative with its vast implications. Another unused concept could have involved Superman having the power to manipulate time, which, while interesting, could have overshadowed existing powers and diluted tension by offering too easy an escape from perilous situations. Supporters of exploring unused abilities might argue that these sketches offer a treasure trove for future story arcs, allowing writers to revisit and reimagine these powers in different contexts or timelines. These concepts could invigorate the character with fresh elements, keeping him relevant and appealing to new audiences. Critics, however, might suggest that introducing an array of new powers could veer Superman away from his core identity, making him too versatile and decreasing narrative tension by providing solutions too easily. Challenges in incorporating these abilities involve maintaining narrative balance and ensuring that Superman's character remains relatable. His established set of powers already borders on making him nearly invincible, so additional abilities might risk stripping away the challenges he faces, which are crucial for engaging storytelling. Alternative viewpoints could argue that unused abilities might find a more fitting place in alternative storylines or fictional universes where different rules apply, allowing exploration without permanently altering the main narrative. Ultimately, conceptual sketches of unused abilities not only showcase the creative breadth of Superman's mythology, but also emphasize the importance of maintaining a balance between innovation and tradition. By reflecting on these unrealized ideas, creators and fans gain a deeper appreciation of the complexities involved in evolving an iconic character while preserving his essence. These sketches invite ongoing dialogue about the nature of heroism and the endless potential of imagination in storytelling,